Out of Western Swesha Bium, into Joy News file presenter Samson Ababontin Ababe Fire Omampeni Mahama and Crawford over the Omudi Coacoa no air. The NDC government said the lot in opposition. Omoba and a cocoa no crown be increasing price now cost 7,000. In fact, 6,500. This is a message by Arthur Forcing. Now, feed your bass and NDC are buying the bar power. Almost say world market price above them. Ain't price never harder than almost so. The blame no madi Kufuor government so muja cow ho Jude Sachs near the idea or ho. But of war, the question is, surprise no for more, can't the government intervene? Send your Mampeni Mahama to me by ya parliament or more to me increase your salary no. Can't he do same for these cocoa farmers? Kamia kwa to say when they come to power, they only do things that favors more into power. While we need power, no, you don't enjoy. And somewhere the NDC government can't fire farmers on easy to the extent so more kanya say the politan any boho ebe ko obia fan mu sene be ya betimi water mo crops ye. Na afei de cocoa for in fact cocoa for a demonstration. Apart from cocoa for no, your teachers be more salary mbai. Necessarily be more salary MI or more year demonstration. What's happening? The promise I'm gonna buy and that's a moon to me in this war. Because Oko Parliament Mahama Yariga few days ago, Eba Beka say no promises 6,500 no. But as it stands now, Sikananga Sadio Munibi, they cannot give what they don't have. This according to Mahama Yariga. Then some more kind. There's a indirectly mobu cocoa farmers Jimmy for. Out of war, and some way any the account and a presenter on Joy News, Mitre Joy News for presenter, Mr. Samson, Ababontin, Ababe fire the government, or say this is a broken promise, and indeed is a broken promise. Wa to mean this out of war, yentin komono. Now, mammy whose opinion, our comment more.
The true measure of a nation's character is not how it treats the elites in air-conditioned offices, but how it honors the sweat of its laborers in the sun. This week, we aren't just hearing the wailing of the marginalized alone. We're witnessing a complete breakdown of the social contract between the state and those who feed and teach this country. Why is a cocoa farmer across the country at the Cocoa Board headquarters? Doesn't matter who they are, they represent the cocoa farmer everywhere. It doesn't matter that they've been brought there by a politician to make political gains. They have a point. And why is the newly posted teacher in a rural classroom wailing alongside Closac? It is because in Ghana, we have developed a dangerous habit of treating the laborer as an afterthought. There are cocoa farmers. On February 12, the Minister for Finance, Dr. Castle Forcing, announced a staggering 30% cut in the producer price, slashing it down from 3,625 cedis to 2,587 cedis per bag. The state calls it a necessary reform due to falling global prices. The farmers call it a haircut that they never signed up for. But hold on there. The reality is that the global price of cocoa per ton has been tumbling over a long period now. It's seen a nosedive from when it went to the high of as much as 11,000 US dollars to the point where we now see it. That's about 70% of a drop in the price. if we were not doing politics with cocoa, like we have done with petrol, like we have done with everything else, the natural market would have determined what happens. If we have not done politics with cocoa, I can assure you that if this happened during an election year, regardless of the global fall, the cocoa farmer would not have suffered a haircut. Never. But the insult isn't just the price cut. It is the delayed payments, the thousands of farmers that have delivered beans since November last year and have seen nothing but stories from licensed, buying companies. And when the Catholic Bishops' Conference has to issue a statement warning that farmers can no longer pay their children's fees, school fees, or medical bills, we know the system has failed. It's broken. And then the teachers. We have over 6,000 educators who were recruited in 2024 and 2025, but have worked for 14 months without a single CD in pay. Why? Because of an administrative bottleneck called a staff ID. Really? We have teachers who have been in the classroom for over a year being told that their documents cannot be traced at the National Office of the Ghana Education Service. How do you expect a hungry teacher to inspire a child? How do you justify a system where Ioko, the OSP, would be called to investigate a small theft, yet the state can steal 14 months of a citizen's labor through administrative negligence without any consequences? We have an unethical bunch of nation wreckers, and that is our bigger problem that we need to resolve. Look at how in the UK they process a former prince. I mean a prince who is on the line and could become the king. A small section of the police, not the national police, wake up and say in the Jeffrey Epstein files, things have been said against him, including revealing certain secrets or being involved in some sexual crimes. And they get up, go to his home and arrest him. They detain him without a charge. That is to ensure that the law works. But here, if the law worked, the state would have been sued over this teacher's, dilemma, predicament, and the cocoa, farmers. Instead, we see a culture of interventions. And please, the real reset we need is to take a cue from what is happening in the UK, where accountability is critical. Not where a broadcaster is arrested and he has to issue a statement to thank chiefs, to thank MPs, and to thank the most influential people in our community for intervening to get him out of detention. Not when people are arrested for wrongdoing, and because they belong to our parties, we stage vigils and protests at Ioko and elsewhere, demanding their release when we don't even know why they have been arrested. We allow teachers to sink into abject poverty. The farmer who is doing everything they can to feed the country. And we're here talking what? Nation building. The cocoa farmer is the backbone of our economy. The teacher is the architect of our future. If we continue to treat them with the level of disdain that we are seeing, cutting prices mid-session and withholding salaries for years, we aren't just facing a labor crisis. We are facing a moral bankruptcy.
In that of was OT and someone, Mr. Samson of Joy News, Eddie Baby 2, is so sad and painful. Say, cocoa farmers no more mo jenny, a cod do fu, a dear cocoa, a water, the other friends of fertilizers near the adim, a buildy cocoa, no ma cocoa ni zooming in. Some grow way, or more musica, and I was in far more mono, shady one what naso. Marty says ye to be musica, but it shouldn't even happen like this. Ghana ha ye won cocoa farmers any farmers bra mo bra what the government ni nsem no what you want ase yemfa NDC ni MPP nsem fa nto nchen ade a ye ken definitely when there's a new government you still see same ase omo ye independent omo ye omo adwuma no the government stress them na mom no mo aso mo into the government spaces no they more freedom nkenye ni say omanpeni Mahama baye waba be to omo parliament mo omo monthly salary waba be tutum wetumi ya intervention the ama dollar ama sisi a dollar I stabilize scanner mo pompi good dollar no mutumi fa bi into akoko pharmaceutical out of war it's sad and unfortunate wa be comment bi anu so make sure so be comment answer na o jimi a be ji no woto ha you respect yourself I respect you one for respect na mba the other babia no beje so de mama fa hunsia na afa de mama whose opinion e will comment no more get more updates more gist e ba wakwe